Hey guys, welcome to my home studio. After the 10-year anniversary and her talk show appearance, the renewed attention, people started making contact of every kind. The calls began. The letters started coming. Every single kind, and you didn't know which until you opened it. Messages on the answering machine, wanting to know how we'd put the money to use. The real question implied underneath was, of course, this. How had we put my miraculous survival to use? Was I worth it? They wanted to see it, the physical manifestations of their generosity and hope. They came from far away and close to home. High school was a minefield. Around that time, I became something else. The girl who got attention, who wouldn't give interviews, who wasn't grateful enough, who forgot where she had come from, who was still, years later, trying to escape. We had to leave. My mother didn't like it either. Didn't like the version of her reflected in their questions, in the things they would see in her answers. It was happening to both of us, this dismantling of our lives. When we moved to Ohio and I registered at the new school, I started going by my middle name. Some people knew, but few people cared. It was a thing my new classmates couldn't really remember either. By the time I enrolled in college, I'd made it official, changing my last name as well, believing that the only way to escape was to become someone new. By this point, Arden Maynor was as much a mystery to me as she was to anyone else. Luckily, most of the original donated funds were tied up in a trust to be accessed for college. Though my mother bled through the money from her appearances and book advance, she couldn't touch that. The fund paid for my education, including my master's, and supported me while I was in school. And the fund financed a big chunk of this very house. I didn't know whether it was an act of supreme cruelty or bravery that I turned her down when the trust transferred to my possession. It was the last I saw of my mother, the last I heard of her, and I hated that this was the image that remained, that too skinny person, fidgeting, biting the side of her thumb, looking nervously over her shoulder. Another possible version of me. Maybe I did feel like I needed to earn it for all the people who helped us. I thought I had made good choices with the money, anonymity and a fresh start, and that wasn't nothing. But now, that was in danger. I could see it coming, that slide, threatening to bring me back to the start.